Hello guys, this is Chris, and today we're going to talk about this bad boy, the Fujinon 1024mm f4 wide-angle lens. This is a zoom lens. I have been using it for 3 years now. I really enjoy it. I use it as part of my professional work, mainly for real estate. I've been using it a little bit for weddings. I've been using it a little bit for traveling. I used it for landscaping. I used it for different types of circumstances and different fields. And right after the intro, we're going to jump into the pros and the cons that I personally found with this lens. But before I do that, I want to tell you the joke of this episode. So what is the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. There you go, that was the joke. Let's jump into the video. Don't move. This is the perfect focal length, meaning that it's not a fisheye, making it great for real estate photography. There's a hood included in the box, which is made out of plastic and works great to hide the flares from the sun and to protect the lens in case of accidental bumps. The lens is made out of metal and feels sturdy in the hands. It has OIS, which is great if you want to shoot with a body that doesn't have IBIS or for lower shutter speed photos or shaky shots. There's a dedicated physical switch for the aperture ring, infinite ring type, allowing you to either change in manual mode or let the camera set the aperture automatically. For a wide-angle lens, the maximum aperture at f4 is great for an all-around shooting experience, no matter the focal length you are using. Shooting a wide-angle lens at f2.8 isn't my style, and for night shots I would use a lower shutter speed. I normally shoot real estate photography at f16 on this lens, making the depth of field perfect to get every detail into focus. The cap has the classic pinch closing system, definitely to be improved in my opinion, as it's really hard to close and keep on the lens, as opposed to, for example, the 23mm f2, which has an easy clip on, which can be clipped on the hood. The lack of aperture clicks, despite the fact that it has an aperture ring, which is a dedicated one, made me change the aperture many times by mistake without realizing it, and having a different aperture than what I wanted to have. When zooming with this lens, you can see the elements moving in the front of the lens externally. It would have been great to be internal, but this is not a big deal or by no means a deal breaker. This is not a weather resistant lens. This means that it will not resist in case of humidity or if you have to shoot on a rainy day or if there is a lot of dust and other elements. Okay, good. So now that we went over the pros and the cons of this lens, the next step is to show you some examples. I'm sure you guys clicked on this video because either you want to buy it or you already have it and you would like to know a little bit more on how to use it, what you can use it for, what is it best for. And I will therefore show you a bunch of different subjects and different examples and shots that I took in the last 3 years, so you can have a little idea on what this lens is good for. I have also used this lens for videos, so I made a bunch of videos for real estate. Not a lot because at some point I didn't have the GH5 and the GH5S, so I wasn't able to use those. So I have been using my X-T2 with this lens with the stabilization on, and the result looks pretty neat actually. I'm pretty amazed with it. I'm going to show it to you right now. Here we go. So in conclusion, this lens, is it any good? If you ask me, yes. It's one of the best lenses that I own for specific purposes though. The one thing that you guys need to understand is that this lens is not a lens for everyone. That's what I think. If you want to have a lens for traveling or for weddings, you know, for example, if you take weddings, if I want a lens to do group shots, I use my 23mm f2. All I do is I back off, take a few steps backwards, take the group shot. It works great. This tends to deform a little bit on the sides. Obviously, if it's a 10mm, it's not going to be super duper straight. Now, why would you use this zoomed at 24? This is way too big, it's not weather sealed. I wouldn't advise you to use this. Now, if you're, for example, like me doing real estate photography and you want to be able to capture for example, a wide room and you want to take some photos of details or like, I don't know, a little area of the living room, or you want to take a little, like a table with some magazines or something that represents that area and you want to zoom in a little bit, you can still do so. You're not gonna have such a great depth of field, but f4 is not too bad for an APS-C camera. So my conclusion is, if you're into this type of photography, this is a must-have. You must have this one. There's also the 8mm, which I haven't tested yet, but for the price, to be honest, this is gold. This is great, and I haven't been paid by anyone. Fuji didn't pay me to say this, but I think if you don't own this, definitely add it to your lenses. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope I didn't miss or left anything out. If I did, however, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to talk about. If there's any help you need on anything about this lens, I will gladly help you out. Subscribe if you didn't subscribe yet. We're going flat out and full blast, and we're moving quite well right now. And like always, I see you in my next video. Take care.